ordinary girl trying to be fabulous, and I wanted to release a video today because today is a very special day. Today is Olivia's gotcha day, and she has been with me for 8 years. Olivia is a Japanese chin, and she's Little Miss Bossy Pants. So Olivia has a very interesting story. It all started like the weekend before. My mom and I had gone to a Robert Tonner Aloe and Wild doll convention in Louisville, Kentucky. Yes, I've gone to doll conventions, don't judge me. So we were headed home, and we got in the airplane and we were seated, and this lady comes in the airplane to find a seat, and she has a tote bag from our convention. And as you know, we were flying Southwest. And as you know, Southwest does not have assigned seats. You just have to sit wherever you can. So she had a tote bag from our convention, or from the convention that we had attended. And so we were like, hey, you have a tote bag from the convention we attended. So go ahead and sit next to us. So she was relieved. And, we made small talk. It's about an hour, I think, from Louisville to Thurgood Marshall International Airport, also known as Baltimore Washington International Airport. And so we were talking, and eventually we started talking about our dogs. And I mentioned, my mom had this sweet little dog named Rosie. Hi. She had this sweet little dog named Rosie, and but she had this sweet little Japanese chin named Rosie, who unfortunately had passed away in April. And she really wanted another Japanese chin, but we like to rescue dogs. We had I like dogs, and I like to go in and see dogs. So we had gone to a pet store that sold puppies, and they had a black and white Japanese chin. But, we were also leaving for Kentucky, and we like to rescue dogs. We don't want to buy a puppy. We want to rescue. So, so I go, and she's like, well, throughout the whole conversation, I talk about my dogs, and I talk about how my mom wants another Japanese chin, I want a Japanese chin, and we really want to rescue the dog. And she says, well, have you ever tried Pet Finder? Have you looked on Pet Finder? And I hadn't, because I thought that you can't find a purebred dog on Pet Finder. And so I was just like, yeah, okay, well, I just kind of blew it off. I said, I'll check when I get home, because I didn't believe I'd find a Japanese chin on Pet Finder. Or she'd be in like Wisconsin or Portland, Oregon, which is just not gonna work for us unless there's a transport. So we keep talking, small talk. I talk about my other dogs, because I had gotten a rat terrier from Howard County Animal Control, and that was love at first sight. I love Mandy. I loved Mandy. She's gone now too, but I'll tell a story about Mandy. So I get home, and we are, because we got home at like 5 or 6, so it was way too late to cook dinner. So we got Chinese food, and I just happened to remember, oh, this lady said look on Pet Finder for a Japanese chin. And I looked on Pet Finder, I typed in Japanese chin. I kind of wanted a young dog, either young or a puppy. And oh my goodness, right there on Pet Finder, there's this red, she's not considered red, she's considered lemon. Although Olivia has more of a strawberry blonde coat and white coat. So I was like, well, there's a Japanese chin. And she's like in Pennsylvania. That's like, I don't know, is the word serendipity? That's amazing. I did not expect that to happen, because like I didn't think it could happen. I doubted that there would be a Japanese chin. So I applied for her, and I told them that we had experience with Japanese chins, because Japanese chins are a little blockheaded. They're hard to housebreak, but they are the sweetest little dogs ever. I love Japanese chins, even though they can have health issues. So I put in my application, and then I have this brilliant idea. I'm gonna write them a letter, and I'm going to send them a picture of Rosie, and I don't think I sent them a picture of Aki, because I had a black and white Japanese chin named Aki, who also unfortunately died. And I did. Okay, this is Aki. He's my first dog and my first Japanese chin. I've had family dogs, but Aki is my first. And you look at this picture, and you can just tell that there is something wrong with Aki in this picture. This is Rosie. She's my mom's dog. She was so sweet, even up till the moment when she died. Sorry, folks, there had technical difficulties for a moment. So I also had a Japanese chin, black and white, named Aki. I don't think I sent a picture of Aki, but they knew that we had experience with Japanese chins, and they can be very a very interesting breed, very hard to housebreak, and they are stubborn. Somebody said once that a Japanese chin is like the cat of the dog family, because I would love to get Olivia somewhere in the camera. There goes Annie. I would love to get Olivia somewhere in the camera shot, but she's under the bed and she's not coming out. So they give us, I think, well, everybody loves the Japanese chin. Whenever I rescued Mandy at Howard County, there was a Japanese chin they named China, and everybody wanted China. I had put in for China, but I was like the 10th on the list, so I knew that if I got China, it would be a miracle. So I knew that, or in my mind, I thought, well, I will put in for China. I put in for China. I'll put in for this little Japanese chin, and everybody wants her. I know they do. I'm going to tell my mother, be like, remember China? Remember how we were like the 10th on the list and we did not get China? So, like Wednesday, they call us. The lady from the rescue calls us, and she's like, when can you come and pick up this dog? So I can drive, but I don't like to. I especially wouldn't like to drive up to Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So I figured out with my dad, and my dad is going to drive us up to pick up this sweet little dog. And we had Rosie, and then I had Aki. Excuse me, my ears is itching. Then I had Aki, and I loved them so much, and their passing was so heartbreaking because they passed from illnesses. And so I thought to myself, I'm on the trip to Pennsylvania to pick her up. And I say to myself, if this dog looks sickly, I don't want her. If she looks sickly, I'm going to say no thank you, and I'm going to turn around and walk out of that pet store. I think it was a PetSmart. That's neither here nor there. So I'm going to turn around and walk out of PetSmart. I don't want another sickly dog. Rosie broke my heart. Aki broke my heart. I cannot manage another sickly dog. So we're supposed to meet this lady at 1 o'clock at a PetSmart in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And I'm nervous. And we get in there, and I see this little Japanese chin. Oh my goodness, she was 4 pounds. Her tail. If you look at a Japanese chin, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little emotional. If you look at a Japanese chin, excuse me, their tails are supposed to be like really thick and fluffy. But this dog had this rat tail. I think she had fur on it, but it was just the saddest, most tragic looking tail on a Japanese chin ever. So, I look at her, and then, she's in the arms of the lady who ran the rescue, and my mom sits down next to the lady who runs the rescue, and Olivia just jumped into my mom's arms and started wagging her tail. And I'll tell a story about Olivia. I'll tell a story about Olivia later on, but that doesn't happen. She doesn't like people. She's very fearful. So for her to have jumped into my mother's arms, it was meant to be that this dog was supposed to be with us. So the lady had brought her in the car, and Olivia had thrown up all over herself, and she smelled like vomit, and she had this little rat tail, and she was 4 pounds. She was just a tragic looking little thing. But I saw her, and I could not leave her in the store. Leave her at the store with the rescue lady. I just couldn't. So we take her home, and I had brought a travel carrier to put her in on the trip home because it was a couple hours from where I live to Lancaster. And she was just so cute and so little, and I could not leave her in the travel carrier. So I held her on the trip home. And I hope I find the picture, because I have this cute picture where, she's sniffing my lap, and I snapped. So here's Olivia when we just brought her home, and you can just see how skinny and tragic she looks. And here you can see a little picture of her tail, little rat tail. And I can't believe that I forgot to mention Miley, who I was taking care of during the time when I got Olivia and had Mandy too. Sorry, technical difficulties again. So I snapped the picture, and I was like, oh, so cute. She's so cute. And then after I snapped the picture, she just like threw up all over me. Just no warning. Because I've had dogs for a little while, so I can kind of tell when they're about to throw up. They start doing that sound with their throat and the movement of their stomach. But she didn't do that. She just like threw up all over me. And it was love at first sight, or love at first vomit. So I smell like throw up, and she smells like throw up. And I take a picture, and I send it to my family. And then we get home, and, she's like, doesn't know what's going on, doesn't understand. I have a rat terrier who loves everybody and loves everything. The Disney character Tigger. Mandy was like Tigger. She was just like bouncy, loved everything. So Olivia is like, I don't know what to think of you. So we kind of put her away in a room so she can be secluded and, kind of get to know the place without bouncy Mandy bugging her, wanting to play. And it was hard. We picked her up on a Saturday, kind of like this Saturday that you're watching this video. We picked her up on a Saturday, and she had a hard time. I had a hard time getting her acclimated. She had a hard time. It was a hard time. But the thing is about Olivia is that you go 2 hours away to pick the dog up, and you're not going to take her home back to the rescue. You know, if I had gone 2 minutes away, I I would not have taken her back to the rescue, because she has been the sweetest little dog that I've had, you know, who's 8. She's the sweetest little 8-year-old Japanese chin that I've ever had. And because Annie's 2, and Annie's the sweetest little rat. She's not a rat, she's a border terrier. Annie's the sweetest 2-year-old border terrier I've ever had. So we had a hard weekend. Olivia did not know what to make of us. I would go, because I went to church on Sunday, so I left her home, and I had left her in a place so she could feel safe. And when I got up there, she looked at me, and she ran and got in the corner and started shaking. See, she's 4 pounds, she's skin and bones, and she must have been abused, because that dog was afraid of everybody in the family. So she's like in the corner shaking, and I think it was Monday, and we really hadn't had much progress. Okay, emotion alert, it's coming. Just to let you know, it's coming. We really hadn't had much progress with her. And I thought, well, I'm not taking her back. She's my dog. If she never shows me any affection, she's my dog, and she's safe. She's found her forever home. And so she was like, she had run and hid and gotten where Eddie. So she had gotten in her spot where she always would always hide, run and hide and cower. And I just knelt on the floor, and I was like, well, I don't care if you never love me or you never show me any affection in return. You are home. And then that's the moment where she came out from her corner, and she walked over to me, and she put her little paw on my leg, and she looked at me like she knew she was home. The kid is so awesome. Who says, "Mommy, stop crying. I need some attention. I need my head scratched. I need my belly rubbed." So that was the moment. And she decided, I like you too. I love you too. I mean, 8 years later, she's still very independent. Oh my goodness. We need to censor that. She's still very independent, and she does her own thing. And she's 8, so she's not gonna change. But she's still she's a sweet dog, and she's affectionate. And even now. This is Mandy. She was here when Olivia came here, along with Miley. She has passed, and she was my favorite rat terrier. Technical difficulties. So even that weekend, it was hard, but I decided that, she's mine, or we're hers, and she's ours, and she's not going anywhere. And, that's the story of Olivia. She's a sweet little girl, independent. She will bark at people, and then if anybody comes near her, she'll run and get under the couch, which is a story for another video. Stay tuned. And we love her so much. And today is her gotcha day, and if she would make an appearance, I would show you sweet Olivia. Let's see if I can get her to appear. I know how to conjure up a dog. Olivia! I wasn't calling Annie. Livy! Come here, sweet girl. Hey! Now don't get... Come on, Livy. Let's not knock over the camera, baby girl. Come on. Upsy daisy. Upsy daisy. Well, let me see if I can get her to come up here. Come on, lover lady. Come on. Oh, you come up here. See? Oh, yes. Oh, that's my sweet girl. That's my sweetheart girl. And she's like, okay, give me your cookie. I want to get down. But yep, that's the story of Olivia. Much healthier. We got her home. She gained like 5 pounds. I think now she's like 9 or 10 pounds. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to my emotions. And you know what? If you like this video, like it, subscribe, hit the bell, comment down below, tell me your doggy stories, and I will see you next week. Okay, thank you, people. Bye. See if we can... Okay, hold on. A much healthier Olivia. And please don't forget to donate to my fundraiser. Thank you.